Hey, everybody, and welcome to this first session of Manifestation Mondays with Marcy. I apologize. I was having difficulty doing a live stream in Facebook, but this is the second best thing. And hopefully we'll have some of you be able to join us live here in Zoom as well. Going forward, I'll let you know exactly how we'll handle this, but I presume that my issue with going live in Facebook will be taken care of, and next week we'll have no problems at all. But if so, again, I'll give you a Zoom link and you can come in and join me, and we'll have a wonderful, intimate time together. So some of you actually may be wondering why I've chosen to do this program. In other words, why are we looking at manifestation now? Manifestation let's say it's a term that's been thrown around a lot for so many years now. And I know that there may be some of you who actually sort of poo-poo the whole idea, saying that it doesn't really work. Many times there are, so many of us, I should say, that have been disappointed with our manifestation abilities. And so we've become discouraged. And let me know if that's happened to you. I know that it has happened to me, and that's why I used the phrase we. So I want to begin right off the bat by letting you know that even though I teach this, and I have been teaching this for so many years, well before The Secret even hit the market, yes, I get caught up in my own issues that cause manifestation flubs. We are human. And so that's the first thing that we're going to really start to look at. But also, I want you to remember at all times that this process is one that is perfectly natural. In fact, you're hardwired for success, but we're humans. And so as humans, we get distracted easily. So even though we're hardwired for success, we may forget that we're actually in process. So number one, you want to try to remind yourself that we are in a manifestation process, okay? That reminding of yourself is really going to help you to provide a smooth path for your manifestation to come to life. So let's just start right now by outlining a bit about the program itself. As I announced a couple of weeks ago, we're going to be meeting right here at 5 o'clock Eastern Time every single Monday. The fourth Monday, excuse me, of each month is going to be a live workshop where I'm going to help you to take all of the bits and pieces, all of the concepts, the perspectives, and give you tools for implementing them. So the fourth Monday of every month is Manifestation Monday, how to do this and succeed. So these tools are really, really important because we want to connect the dots. You want to begin to integrate these principles on a very conscious level. And that's what that workshop is all about. There is a cost for that workshop. It's $11.11, very reasonable. I'm sure that you will agree. And the reason that we are doing this now, well, as many of you may know, as I said earlier, so many people have been disappointed with their own manifestations. to the point where they've lost faith, not only in themselves, but in their ability to manifest, to bring their heart's desires to life. So when I think about what I would want for you for 2023, it's the same thing that I want for myself. I want my heart's desires to spring to life because every single one of them is essential for my expansion. And my expansion is right in the forefront of all that I do. You see, I recognize that the more that I expand, and by expansion, I mean expanding my energy field, expanding my level of consciousness, my level of awareness, I know that this energy of creation has a more direct route in order to extend itself through me. And that is the process of creation. So we expand, and then the energy extends through us. And more about that in a little bit. So why do I want to teach manifestation now? As I said earlier, I have been teaching this for a long time. I started to use this with my clients back in the early 2000s. And it was during a time where I was making decisions for my life that were quite radical. I was very much aware that I was being called to leave so much of my life behind and to step forward to creating new life, a new way of existing for me. Needless to say, it caused a lot of trial and tribulation for me. The life that I had been living had taken me a good many years to create. And there were parts of it, of course, that I felt like I didn't want to leave behind. And yet I knew that without letting them go, I couldn't achieve what my heart was yearning for. What my heart was yearning for was freedom to express who I was. And in my marriage, in my life, in my community, in my religion, in the mindset and heart set that I was in, that was impossible. I could not really, truly, fully express who I was in that stage. And so I knew that these radical changes that I was being called to initiate was going to take parts of me that I hadn't had access to on a conscious level. But I knew that they somehow existed because I had so masterfully created this other life. The only issue was that that life didn't really express me. In fact, there were very small parts of me in it. There were also parts of me, as I said, that I absolutely loved. And I needed to be able to differentiate those. You know, that old adage, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Well, I knew I didn't want to do that. But I did have to differentiate. What did I want to keep? What needed to be changed? Now, for a lot of you, and myself included during this time, this new life, this new world sort of evaded my vision. I couldn't really see what it looked like. I had ideas of what I would do, who I would be, things that I wanted to do. I certainly knew what made my heart sing, but I didn't really have a clear vision of it. And so one of the things that we're going to be talking about, which I believe is an essential part of manifestation success, is that sometimes you must rely on other information other than your ability to visualize it. So we're going to be looking at all the different parts of manifestation. We're going to be looking, yes, at the formula, at the process, but we're also going to be looking at it step by step. And when we get together on the fourth Monday of each month, I want you to bring your projects with you. What do you need help with? One of my levels of expertise is that I am able to identify energy. I discern energy, which means that I also can determine if that energy has the capacity to create what it is that you want to experience. So you can imagine how valuable that is. And so that's a lot of what I want to share with you. And of course, what I want to teach you, because you are here to become masterful in manifestation. But getting back to my own story, this recognition that I needed to change, to shift, and to allow something else into my life was also a time where if I had allowed it to control me, fear would have sabotaged what I needed and wanted to do. So what happened was I started to become sort of uber aware, very conscious of how fear was manifesting itself in my life. This can be tricky. But again, as you learn energy discernment, which is what you will learn when you commit yourself to this program, you will be able to discern the fear that has as its intention sabotage. So, to make a long story short, I was able to let go of a huge chunk of my life, and one very large part that was inhibiting me from being a full expression of who I was. There was very little space for me to really be that full expression, and that was in my marriage. So I started to initiate divorce proceedings. And during that time of great stress, great fear, confusion, so much challenge, and of course, constantly being at war, sort of conflicted within myself, something magical happened. I actually started to expand so that more and more creative energy could extend itself through me. Now, this was a bit of a paradox because it didn't make any sense. How that happened is something that I'm going to share with you as we move into these workshops deeper and deeper. But let it suffice to say that I reached a point where literally the universe started to lay itself at my feet. I started to get these visions, these images of law of attraction products that I needed to bring to market. Now, you might have heard this story before, but you're going to start to hear about it on a completely different level, because I want you to understand it energetically, because that's what I needed to learn how to do, and it's why I'm here teaching it to you. So what happened was I would wake up in the middle of the night and these products would be dancing in the forefront of my mind's eye. I learned to sleep with a pad and pen next to my bed, and often I wouldn't even open my eyes or turn on a light. I would just start writing. Well, needless to say, the writing was sometimes all over the page, but it didn't matter. The essence of it was there. And these products were training wheels for people who wanted to learn manifestation. Well, what better way to create them than to use them? And so the first prototypes were actually used by me to build my business, to build other products. It was the most miraculous time. I can only describe it as a lamp that gets plugged into a wall socket that's live, full of electricity for the very first time, and has this brand new awareness of what it is. The lamp recognizes what it is. This is what happened to me, and this is what will happen for you. Stay committed to this program. So what unfolded was I was able to bring 8 products to the market in 6 months. And I started to win international awards for best product, for new products on the market. The other thing, which was an amazing aspect of all of this, is that vendors that I used to manufacture these with me started to also win prizes in their own categories for new inventive ways of doing things. So I want you to get an idea of how much creative energy was flowing through me. It was nonstop. It was the most miraculous experience of my life. And what I also want you to know is that it has not stopped. I am so aware of what I create and how, and what I need to do in order to fine-tune my manifestations, that I've reached a level of brand new awareness yet again about who I am, what I am, and my own capabilities. And what I want you to know, and you will experience, is that they're the same for me as they are for you. I may be a little further ahead in terms of what I understand and in my ability to teach them to you. However, these are innate abilities. And without any shadow of doubt, I want you to start to embrace that about yourself. You will have success in manifestation. But again, I'm going to ask you to commit yourself right here and right now to this program. Step into it wholeheartedly. And this sort of brings us to our theme, manifestation. What does love have to do with it? Love is the creative energy. You cannot create anything without the energy of love, because love is the energy that creates. This may have you feeling a little twisted. How can love help me to create? Well, here's what it is in a nutshell. Love, this energy of creation, is the highest vibrational frequency of the entire universe. What else would or could possibly have the capacity to create other than an energy that is the highest vibrational frequency? So sit with that for a moment. Could there be anything outside of that? And you may be clamoring inside and saying, then why have I been so disappointed? Why have I had pure sabotage? Why have I not gotten ahead and created what I want to be living? Well, the answer to that is within you. And that's one of the things that we're going to be looking at every single week. But here's what I want to guarantee you. And that is, as you become more and more accustomed to aligning with the energy of love, you will see greater success. And so one of the things that we'll need to do as the weeks unfold is to bring you to this place where you're more accustomed to what that feels like, so that you can align to it even when we're not together. So this training, is training that is one where you're actually coming back into you, into these truths that are already within yourself. Like I said, you're hardwired for this. And so I want to support you. I want to guide you, mentor you. And why now? Because too many of us have forgotten who we are. Too many of us have allowed fear to sabotage our entire lives, and we have made decisions based on fear. And so we have to shift out of that. We have to be able to discern the energy of fear and know what the energy feels like that we want to align with. Because you need to remember who you are. I think all of you would agree. We have a new world to create, a new world to align with. This world that we've been living in, as you see on a daily basis, is filled with corruption of all kinds. But it isn't just corruption of the political system or the medical system or the science system. It's a corruption of the systems within ourselves. We have corrupted them. And so we must be the ones to clear them. Some of those will need to crumble away, just as they did in my life. Some of those, you will take from them the energy of creation and take it with you. But every step along the way, love is going to guide us. Love is going to lead the way. Love is the energy that as we align with it, our heart will finally have its day. And we will not have to worry about what's crumbling. We instead will be joyful in creating what is for the highest good of all people everywhere and the highest good of all of creation. Because it's not just us. It's not just us in our homes or our communities or our cultures, our societies, our towns, our states, or our countries, or even our world. Everything that we do influences all of the worlds. The collective consciousness is influenced by you. And so our intention here is to create a critical mass of humanity that remembers who they are, who is committed to coming back into your heart for the purpose of going forward and creating only what love would create. And that, of course, is for the highest good of all. And so that's kind of a little bit of a taste of what we're going to be doing as we go forward. We'll also be talking about the strategies, the formulas, the contrasts that are important, the signs and the symptoms, and why manifestations go awry. We need to take a look at all of it, the good, the bad, the ugly. But we're going to do it together so that you can see through my eyes that may have a little more clarity than yours in the moment. And so as we go forward, just know that I am here. And this manifestation that we're looking to immerse ourselves in is something that you will be so grateful that you have embarked upon, that you'll never want to live in any other way. So much love to you. I will see you next Monday right here. And fortunately, I'm sure at that time, we will have all of these issues cleaned out, put back into alignment, and we'll be live so that you can join me. And we're going to get to work. So see you then next Monday, 5 o'clock Eastern time, and we'll be together to have a great time. See you then. Bye-bye now.